We are on day 23, and today's reading is from Genesis 32 through 34. In Genesis 32, we know that Jacob is on his way to meet Esau for the first time in 20 years or so. And he sends a messenger ahead of him to Esau and let him know, like, I'm on my way back. I've been at Laban's land. I come back with wealth. I come back with peace. Don't hurt me. The messenger comes back to Jacob and says Esau is on his way to meet you and he has 400 men with him. So rightfully so, Jacob is concerned, like, no, he's gonna like really beat me, considering when he left it was because he took his blessing. He took Esau's blessing from his father. He took his birthright. He bartered for his birthright. So he got everything that should be Esau's. So he's worried that Esau will still have this grudge. So he's trying to do everything to please Esau. He also decides to send like waves of gifts so that by the time Esau gets to him, hopefully his heart is softened, right? So he continues on his way, and then he sends everything ahead of him, and just now it's just him and an angel or God. Like biblical scholars said, it could go either way. Jacob wrestles with the man until daybreak. The man could not overpower Jacob, so he tried to injure his already hurt hip so that Jacob would release him. But Jacob said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. So the man decided to change Jacob's names to Israel, saying that he has confronted both man and God and still survived. So that's why I think the man is probably God in the man form, because he basically says that you come against man and God. I perceive to be that man who he's fighting as well. Then he changes his name, right? Then Jacob's like, well, what's your name? And the man said, why do you ask my name? And then he blessed Jacob. So Jacob named the place Peniel because he saw God's face to face. And that's another reason why I'm like, this has to be God, because he says plain, I saw God face to face, and yet my life is spared. And then it says, to this day, Israelites don't eat the tendon attached to the socket of the hip, because the socket of Jacob's hip was touched to the tendon. So like they cut off what is called or considered the shank. Usually a kosher butcher will get rid of that part of the animals that they cut up, so that true Israelites who tend to be Jewish people now, or traditional Jewish people, don't eat that part of the animal, which I thought was interesting because I don't hear people speak about the kosher diet, but I don't know anything about it. So to learn that little piece was interesting, and also background as to why they didn't eat it was interesting to me too. And then we get to chapter 33 where Jacob actually meets Esau, and I just knew there would be a war. And I was disappointed a little bit because I expected it to be more. But of course they embraced each other, reconciled. It was very peaceful. Seemed probably like it's been a lot of years and I miss you, brother type of stuff. And then we get to chapter 34, and Dinah, who is the daughter of Leah, Jacob, was raped by Shechem, the son of Hamor. And then Shechem says that he wants Dinah to be his wife, right? He's like, name your price, I'll do whatever, I'll give you whatever, and she can be my wife. And they looking at him like, dude, no, you just did this to my sister. And then Hamer, the dad, is like, you give us your daughters, we'll give you our daughters. Side note, I was thinking finally these people was getting out into another population that isn't their cousins, because they've been like intermingling with cousins, and like I'm like, okay, finally they get to go out and explore other families. But anyway, they started thinking, they were like, well, they saying we can get anything. So the brothers was like, well, we're circumcised, your man isn't circumcised, so y'all need to get circumcised. So I feel like they thought that they was going to either say no, not go through with it, or they knew that they were going to go through with it, and then they can like plan to kill these people. But either way, it would have worked out for them. They kept their sister, I guess, protected. But what happens is Hamer and Shechem tells the town, like, they're coming in, but we got to get circumcised. All the men needs to be circumcised. Then all the men get circumcised, and they resting up for 3 days. And on the third day, Dinah's brothers, Simeon and Levi, also Leah's sons, decides they gonna kill everybody. They started killing all the men. They killed all the men of the city. Then they went to Hamer's house and killed Hamer and Shechem. And then they took their sister and they left. And they stole all these people goods. Talk about payback. They was not about to let these people do that to their sister and get away with it. And Jacob is like, what if these people retaliate? And they respond to him and say, should he have treated our sister like a prostitute? No remorse given. I was like, I know that's right. So that's the end of the readings today. They were really good. I think so, because it's always, this Bible is good to me. And the fight that Jacob had with that angel / God seems like that's supposed to have been the fight he had with Esau, that I was expecting him to have with Esau, but you know, whatever. It's the weekend coming up, so I probably won't post until Monday. Saturday's reading is Genesis 35 through 37. Sunday's reading is Genesis 38 through 40. I will put that into a comment as well. And on Monday, I'll post my videos for the weekend reading. So you guys enjoy your weekend. Stay warm if you're in one of those cities with negative degree weather. And until next time, see you next time.